It's been just over 2.5 weeks since Christmas and I already feel like this is too late to be posting my Christmas book haul, but we're doing it because these books have been stacked, ready for me to film this video and I keep not filming it. So we're going to be filming my Christmas book haul today. These are some of the lovely books I received for Christmas. I loved the Christmas break so much and I had such a lovely time just being back with my family. It was so nice. I hope you had a lovely Christmas break. It does feel like ages ago to say that now, but I hope you had a lovely Christmas break. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, belated Merry Christmas, you know, all the things. Let's look at some books. So the first books I'm going to be showing you are ones that my mum got me. She always goes to Mr. B's in Bath before Christmas and picks me up a selection of books I've either never heard of before or maybe have seen but just haven't ever really looked too closely into, and she nails it every time. She does so well at just finding me books that I would have never necessarily noticed and yet I'm really excited to read. So I'm going to show you about those in a second. And then I've also got a stack of books from lovely friends and lovely members of the community to show you as well. The ones from my mum. First up we have A Fine Balance by Rohinton Mystery. Two things about this book. One, I am currently reading it. I'm not going to say I'm in the middle of it, but I am here. This is a chunky book. This is the first book I have started reading out of the ones that my mum got me for Christmas, and I am really enjoying it so far. It's definitely not an easy story to read about. It's quite a sad story in a lot of places and it's definitely quite hard hitting. Certainly slower pacing, but still like really digestible to read. For most of these, when I describe what they're about, I'm probably just going to be reading off the blurb because my paraphrasing and memory for instantly reading something and then completely forgetting it's not good. So we're going to be reading from the blurb. This is set in the mid-1970s in India, and it's following 4 different characters' stories as they come together during a time of political turmoil soon after the government declares a state of internal emergency. Through days of bleakness and hope, their circumstances and their fates become inextricably linked in ways that no one could have foreseen. So far I have read one full story of one of the characters, well not full, I haven't obviously seen the end of her story, but I've read the full start of one character's story, and then I am in the middle of reading about another 2 of these characters. They're kind of like 2 characters in one story. I love books that show throughout somebody's life, the journey throughout somebody's life, and I love books that have intertwining storylines, and this has both of those things. The second thing about this book is that for the longest time my mum mentioned Rohinton Mystery to me and I didn't really know what kind of books to expect from that, and I had in my head that this was a mystery series. I didn't realise that Rohinton Mystery was the author's name. I always thought it was a mystery series. I didn't realise it was spelt like this instead. So when I received this I was like, oh, and suddenly it clicked that it's the author's name, not a mystery series. So I had very different expectations in my head, but so far this is proving to be a really fantastic, very intense, but very brilliant and heartbreaking read. She also got me Clave Kilvenger's Mother Howl. This one is following the arrest of a boy's father for a series of unbreakable crimes that shattered Lyle Edison's suburban teenage life. There was no way to pick up the pieces, so he ran. Now at last, after years of hiding under a false name to escape his father's wicked legacy, Lyle has begun to build a future with the woman he loves. But after an encounter with a stranger named Icarus who seems to know Lyle's secrets, a man with a questionable grip on reality who claims to be a messenger from the divine, Lyle is set on a perilous new path. Confronting Icarus means coming face to face with his own past, forcing Lyle to make a choice that threatens the fragile facade he has created, and with his future and his new family hanging in the balance. One of the reviews says this is riveting, fearless and unshakable. It's noir from the cold side of the sun, where Icarus is gravity's assassin and every search of the self leads through a black star. I think this sounds interesting. I'm assuming Icarus is Icarus and it's not just somebody called Icarus. I'm assuming there's some kind of a retelling element in there, but I love it when my mum finds me books I have never heard of before because it just pushes my reading further, so I'm really excited to read this one. She also got me this really beautiful little book of Botanical Folktales of Britain and Ireland by Lisa Schneido. I might be pronouncing that incorrectly, I will check, but look how pretty the cover for this is. My lights are just reflecting, it's kind of shiny, but this is various different short folk tales. The island of Britain and Ireland hold a rich heritage of plant folklore and wisdom, from the magical yew tree to the bad-tempered dandelion. Here are the traditional tales about the trees and plants that shape our landscape and our lives throughout the seasons. They explore the complex relationships between people and plants in lowlands and uplands, fields, bogs, moors, woodlands and towns. Suitable for all ages, this is an essential collection of stories for anyone interested in botany, the environment and our living heritage. I love books that involve nature and the environment in them in some way, and I love the fact that these are going to be little short digestible tales. Just when I fancy going in and reading one. Look, they got little illustrations as well. And the final book that my mum got me is The End of Vandalism by Tom Drury. The cover of this one completely intrigues me. I feel like my mum would have initially picked this up because of that cover. There's like a silo and a heron, a crane, some kind of bird like that flying away from it. The cover intrigues me a lot. One of the reviews says the wondrous and engaging stuff of real storytelling. Welcome to Grouse County, where the towns are small but the people, their dreams and their eccentricities come in all sizes. When Sheriff Dan Norman arrests local troublemaker Tiny Darling, I feel like my mum also picked it up because one of the characters is called Tiny Darling, for vandalising an anti-vandalism dance, he doesn't expect much in the way of fallout, yet unseen wheels have been set in motion, and lives will be changed. Dan finds love, Tiny loses his wife Louise, and all three travel on an epic journey of the heart. The End of Vandalism is full of small miracles of observation, compassion and humour held together by the electric deadpan of Drury's celebrated style. For readers willing to tune in, the experience will be a revelation. This one sounds very interesting. I'm not really too sure what it's about necessarily from reading that really, but I feel like it's going to be a good journey, so I'm excited for this one as well. Okay, the rest of these ones are from lovely members of the community and lovely friends. The first one is Cat Gamer. This is volume 1 by Watura Nadatani. This is so cute. This is a manga series and oh my god, it just looks so adorable. I mean, the fact that we have a cat, we have the gaming element, sorry, the shadows in this shot right now are not the one. Level up with a new feline friend. Riko is a 29-year-old office worker with an obsession for video games. Finds her quiet life upended when she takes in a stray cat. Having no experience with pets, Riko uses lessons drawn from video games to guide her cat in care, while her cute companion tries to understand Riko's behaviour and personal obsessions through a cat worldwide view. I'm so ready for this. I'm so ready for it. I also got The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. This one has been on my wishlist for a while. I'm quite excited by this one. This is actually also our Patreon book club pick for January and February, so if you do want to join along and read this with us, it is available to anyone in the Rivendell tier and is linked down below. Hat, ribbon, bird, rose. To the people on the island, a disappeared thing no longer has any meaning. It could be burned in the garden, thrown in the river, or handed over to the Memory Police. Soon enough, the island forgets it ever existed. When a young novelist discovers that her editor is in danger of being taken away by the Memory Police, she desperately wants to save him. For some reason, he doesn't forget, and it's becoming increasingly difficult for him to hide his memories. Who knows what will vanish next? I find the dystopian elements of this really interesting, and also just the idea of playing with the memory thing just sounds great to me. I also got some more manga. I got volume 5, 6 and 7 of Spy Family by Tatsuya Endo. This is such a cute manga series. I love it so much. We're following a constructed family on a mission. There's a little girl, Anya, she is so cute and she has to attend this very fancy elitist school. Her adopted dad is a spy that is needing to get her into this school to complete his mission, and he has essentially hired who he doesn't know is an assassin to play the part of his wife. It's great. It's top tier. I love it so much, and this is volume 5, 6 and 7. Okay, the next one is I Am Pilgrim by Terry Hayes. So I used to work in WATERSTONES years and years ago, and when I worked there, this was my manager's favourite book ever. And she kept recommending it to people, she kept recommending it to me, and I just never really fancied it. I never found the idea of it appealing. And then suddenly I read the blurb like a couple of months ago and was like, I want to read it now. Which one shows how much reading taste can change, and 2 just shows that there's a right and wrong time to read books. I mean, I'm saying that I haven't read it yet. I might not enjoy it, but you know, it's something that didn't appeal to me at all years ago. It's now something that I'm really excited to read. A young woman murdered in a rundown Manhattan hotel, a father publicly beheaded in the blistering sun of Saudi Arabia, a man's eyes stolen from his living body as he leaves a secret Syrian research laboratory, smouldering human remains on a mountainside in the Hindu Kush, a plot to commit an appalling crime against humanity, one thread that binds them all, one man to take the journey. Pilgrim. It tells you lots, but it tells you nothing, which has me intrigued. I also got My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferranti. This actually, funnily enough, I didn't do this deliberately. The other manager that I worked with when I worked at WATERSTONES, this was her favourite book. I really didn't do this deliberately, but I've heard so many good things about this one. A ravishing, generous-hearted novel, My Brilliant Friend tells the story of Elena and Leela, born in a poor but vibrant neighbourhood in Naples. Ferrante has created both an unforgettable portrait of 2 young women seeking to carve out a destiny for themselves, and the story of a city and a country undergoing monumentous change. I love the kind of books that have the journey element in them, so I think that is why this one's appealing to me. I also received The Cassandra Complex by Holly Small. I have heard nothing but good things about this, so I think this one's going to be amazing. Cassandra Penelope Dankworth is a creature of habit. She likes what she likes, museums, jumpsuits, her boyfriend Will, and strongly dislikes what she doesn't. Mess, change, her boss drinking out of her mug. Her life runs in a pleasing, predictable order until now. She's just been dumped, she's just been fired. Her local cafe has run out of banana muffins. Then something truly unexpected happens. Cassie discovers she can go back and change the past. Now Cassie should be able to find a way to fix the life she accidentally obliterated. And with time on her side, how hard can it be? I found out about this one because I was researching into books with neurodivergent rep in them, and this one came very highly recommended. So I feel like this one's going to be great. This next one is pretty chonky. This also came very highly recommended, and honestly, oh my gosh, this cover is absolutely gorgeous. I have no idea where I'm going to make space for this on my shelf, but I'm gonna try. This is The Covenant of Water by Abraham Verghese. Let's have a look at the blurb. This is a journey type of book following somebody throughout their life, I believe, or multiple generations. And this one was recommended to me by my patrons when I said how much I enjoyed Pachinko and The Mountains Sing. Spanning the years of 1900 to 1977, The Covenant of Water follows a family in southern India that suffers a peculiar affliction. In every generation, at least one person dies by drowning, and in Kerala, water is everywhere. At the turn of the century, a 12-year-old girl grieving the death of her father is sent by boat to her wedding, where she will meet her 40-year-old husband for the first time. From this poignant beginning, the young girl and future matriarch known as Big Amachi will witness unthinkable changes over the span of her extraordinary life. Full of joy and triumph, as well as hardship and loss, her faith and love the only constants. A shimmering evocation of bygone India and of the passage of time itself, The Covenant of Water is a hymn to the progress in medicine and to human understanding, and a humbling testament to the hardships undergone by past generations for the sake of those alive today. Imbued with humour, deep emotion, and the essence of life, it is one of the most masterfully literary novels published in recent years. I mean, honestly, it looks stunning. It sounds like the story is going to be incredibly poignant. This one is exactly the kind of book that I want to read when I want that kind of a journey, because those journeys are never going to be easy journeys, but they are so powerful to read about. This one is not a fiction, but it is a book, so I'm still holding it. This is Drawing Digital, The Complete Guide to Learning to Draw and Paint on Your iPad by Lisa Bardot. Bardot. This is a book that my mom got me because she follows this artist on Instagram and says they are fantastic at digital drawings, and then she saw they had a book out, and it's guiding you to digital draw on your iPad. I have been using my iPad and Procreate for digital drawings for quite a few years now, but there is so much I don't understand, and I love watching videos of people doing things that I'm watching it like, what? How did you do that? So this literally gives you user-friendly step-by-step guides to create these drawings yourself. I love drawing and I love the art of practicing drawing. It's just such a lovely, mindful activity to be able to sit and do. So to be able to develop those skills, I think is going to be great. I also currently do digital downloads of my drawings for my patrons every month for different wallpaper designs for the month ahead. So this, I feel like, is going to help with those as well. The final book that I received for Christmas is Fence Rise Volume 5 by C.S. Passat, Johanna the Mad, and Joanna Lafuente. This is the 5th installment in this graphic novel series, following a group of people on their fencing team at their boarding school, and the training for that, the competitions, and the friendships and rivalries between them. This is totally not something I thought I would enjoy, but I absolutely do. There's just something really fun and addictive about this series. I have absolutely no interest in fencing, but I have an interest in this graphic novel series. So those are all the books I received for Christmas. Thank you so much to anybody who sent me a book through. I have obviously sent off personal thank yous as well, but I'm so grateful, and I now get to put these on my shelves. They've literally been stacked in front of my shelves for the last 2 weeks. It does mean that I need to make space on my shelves, but I did a little bit of that when I did my book haul before Christmas, but I need to distribute, so that's going to happen now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.